What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a different setting here. Gonna be a vlog style with this one. So this video we're going to be talking about your first stills camera. So being a camera fanatic, I'm often asked by people who are interested in getting into photography mainly what their first camera should be. Now, it's a bit of a difficult question to answer because that does depend on what kind of photography you want to do and your budget. But just to clarify what I'm saying here, yes, if the newbie or wannabe photographer does understand the camera which they want to, or the type of photography they want to get into, then absolutely that'll help me then suggesting a camera. But I guess this video is aimed more towards people who have no idea what they want to do in terms of photography, what kind of style or genre of photography. This is aimed at people who want to go from using their phone as their main camera to actually using a proper stills camera. Okay, let's get back to the video. I think I can still answer this question in this video. So I'm assuming you're using something like a smartphone to kind of take your photos and you're kind of enjoying that, and you're thinking about taking it a bit more serious and you're looking to get a camera. There are a number of different cameras you can be considering as your first camera for stills photography. And I know it's a bit of a minefield as to which to go for. Now, what I would consider is not spending a lot of money on a camera, because, and I know this of some people, they spend a fair few £100 on camera equipment, cameras and lenses, and they end up just packing it in after a few months. So what I would do is be a bit savvy and buy yourself a very affordable camera, but that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on quality and ability. So my recommendation is this, the GF3. It's a camera I've mentioned before, I think. Now the good thing about this camera is I picked this up secondhand on MPB, and I do recommend you don't buy new, particularly for your first camera. Go on sites like MPB or Wex Photographic. There's a number of reputable places you can buy secondhand camera gear from. Bought this for 24 quid, so very, very cheap. Now this is not to be sniffed at, and I think this would be ideal for somebody looking to get into stills photography. One, it's very small, it's not very cumbersome. Two, it can shoot decent raw images, so if you want to then get into post-production, editing your photos, there's enough information here to have a lot of fun with the editing process. And three is pretty straightforward to use, as it has a IA mode, so you just flick the camera on and hit the IA button on the top. It'll light a nice blue color, and then you're in auto mode. So if you're coming from an iPhone or a mobile device, you won't have to stress about the exposure triangle, and you can just have fun shooting. 4, it has a nice screen. It's the highest quality if you compare it to modern cameras, but it has a nice big screen similar to what you would use with your phone device. As you can see there's all the information on there. So yeah, and that'll be quite easy to frame shots then. So number 5, you can actually change lenses, which is important if you're going to get into photography, understanding focal lengths and what different lenses can give you. This is a micro four thirds mount, and that's because it has a very small micro four thirds sensor, but still a good kind of sensor, or still a good sensor. so you can change lenses and find which focal lengths you prefer to shoot with, and just basically go on that kind of lens journey which us photographers go on, and it's a very expensive journey, which leads us into the next one. Lenses for the Micro Four Thirds mount. Now I got this lens here, it's a 14 to 42. It's cost me around 60 quid, so not that expensive. And that's the good thing about the Micro Four Thirds system, is they have a lot of lenses that are not very expensive. Lenses from Olympus and from Sigma and from Panasonic and Leica. There's loads of different lenses to choose from, and they're not very expensive. The next one is the size. Now the size of the Lumix GF3 is very small and portable and pocketable, and the lenses you can get with this camera, the Micro Four Thirds system, by their nature are very small, manageable lenses, so it's not so overwhelming for a newbie to photography, and you're not going to feel conscious going out with this camera because it's very small. And if you do a lot of traveling, then it's easy to pack in a bag and go traveling with it. So that's it, I think. Lumix GF3, I would recommend that. Now there's plenty of other cameras you can consider going forward, from Sony and Canon and whatnot, but I think the Lumix range of cameras, and Olympus mind as well, they have very, very affordable cameras that can produce very good stills and sometimes video. They're very small and compact, but like I said, they're very affordable. So if you were to spend, say, 60 quid like I have on this setup, or 80 quid even, then you're not going to feel too disheartened if you decide that after a few months you haven't got that photography bug. But then if you do have that photography bug, you can buy better lenses for the camera, and then when you get to a point where you've evolved, you can then upgrade the camera body to something a bit more of your liking. And the good thing about these cameras as well, because they are proper actual cameras and not iPhones, is you can start to understand and use the exposure triangle and then develop your photography skills, which I think is the ultimate goal. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, check out the Lumix GF3. Any questions, leave us in the comment section down below. Until next time, goodbye.